I may be cringe, but I am free. Hey, it's Ray. I think all artists can relate to the surreal feeling of looking back at old art. You can see the progress you've made skill-wise, but it's still you. Fandom has been a huge part of my life for as long as I can remember, but in 2020 it became a widely shared experience. Having the time to be on my phone during class, grades dropping, I found Obey Me. And it was around the same time I decided to take art seriously, drawing with a purpose, to improve my mental library. I think the piece came out cute, considering my skill at... Okay, yeah, the whole, oh my god, my old art is so cringe bit gets old quickly. But honestly, I still really like this piece. It feels like a remnant of my younger self, and it was my all-time favorite piece at the time. So, let's redraw it. As I'm sketching things out, I notice a big difference in the way that I utilize shapes in my work. Over time, I've noticed a trend when I feel my best in art is when my shapes are clear. However, in the original drawing, I actually traced and transformed the shapes. Tracing is definitely a great way to form an understanding of shapes in the bigger picture, don't get me wrong. But I feel like I do my best work when I'm able to use my artist eye to check my proportions on my own. This has also helped me when I put other things into my composition, even if it wasn't the best composition ever, because scale and shape can help make a piece feel more real. So if you ever feel like you're kind of in the dumps or hit by art block, I really like looking at references to try to gauge the proportions on my own. It's really helpful. In the older image, the thing that stood out to me first were the very sharp horizon line and that airbrushed moon. I actually loved the bike at the time, and I do like it now because, honestly, if you asked me, I wouldn't be able to draw anything better, but the pose is just not correct. The anatomy is admittedly the thing that I had focused on the most, but it kind of teeters off to the bottom left in a lack of understanding of form. Despite the issues I see in my art, I also see a lot of things I like. Ooh, that rim lighting? Baller. I feel like people talk a lot about not comparing your art to others, but I actually like seeing the things that make me and other artists unique. It's fun to exaggerate both the differences and similarities, and makes me feel really fulfilled. In the coloring stage of the piece, I actually experimented with some different layer modes and lighting techniques that I hadn't used in the past, kind of mimicking the way that the cards in the original game look, which made me very nostalgic looking down that Pinterest board. But it's really fun, and I actually started implementing it in some of my more recent pieces. I'm also very easily inspired, and the way that other artists tend to have one feature I really lock in on makes me want to have that same effect with other people. When my own art gives me that satisfaction, it feels like I'm doing something right.
Obey me 服従させたらお前の勝ち君が私を服従させてしまうのか
ヘイヘイヘイ、マーモン様だぜ。ハッピーバースデー。お前の誕生日に電話するのももう3回目だよな。お前2年前に俺が言ったこと覚えてるか？ちっけえよ。いや違くないけど。つうかなんでそんなこと覚えてんだよ。早く忘れろ。ほら俺言っただろ。お前がうちに来てよかったって。お前が来てから俺ら兄弟全員変わったし、あ、もちろんいい意味でだけど、多分お前じゃなきゃこうはならなかったなーって思ってんだよ。だからこれからもそのままでいろよな。だからお前のこと好きだからもっと一緒にいたいの。じゃあな。
Despite having literally drawn my whole life, I haven't lived that long. So in the question of growth, sometimes I find it's better not to worry about other people's journeys, despite how inspiring it can be, rather finding inspiration into how I myself have grown. It may sound a little bit self-centered to talk about how cool I am now, but honestly, I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe that my art didn't provide value, even if it's just to myself. People share their art because it has meaning to them deep down, and if they didn't have hope, they wouldn't have made an account or started posting in the first place. And that's what made me want to start posting. Because I love making art and I want to grow, so I hope you'll join me. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you do get curious about my current shenanigans, you can check out my TikTok and my Instagram for more finished pieces. Good luck on your journey, and get yourself a glass of water if you haven't. Bye-bye!